Alright, what's good everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about multitasking and why I think it's super necessary on iPhones. So let's get into it. Alright, so I know a lot of people, they don't believe that split screen is necessary on a phone because they say, oh, why would you do that on a small phone screen and stuff like that? So in this video, I really wanted to just show some different use cases that I do on the daily. So like in my experience, I'm filming on my 15 Pro Max right now. I use iPhones for filming videos and editing videos on the go, and occasionally like doing some work stuff. Like for example, when I finish editing the video, I'll post it on YouTube and like I do different things. So I'm gonna get into some workflows and how like split screen multitasking actually makes sense on the iPhone. But like there's so many different reasons why it would be beneficial. And I find it alarming that a lot of iPhone users are like, oh, like why would you do that on a phone? They buy an iPad. You know, people are making suggestions of buying another product, telling other users to go spend money. Like I genuinely don't understand what goes through people's mind when they say go and buy another product when these phones are literally powerful enough to do so many things. They can honestly, if Apple wanted to, they can have their iPhones show like 10 different apps running on the phone screen at one time because of how much power is packed into these iPhones. This is an iPhone 13, by the way, but it's super powerful, and my wife has been using it to video edit for me on the side because the iPhone 13 is just that powerful even in 2024. So it's just crazy that people are saying, "Oh, go spend your money," when the device you have in your pocket is already capable of doing so much more. Like make that make sense. And then people say, "Oh, it's not about power, it's not about this and that, whatever." But then Apple advertises their phones as the most powerful devices, and even advertises, video editing and filming videos, whatever it is, playing games. So why not give us the features? But anyways, let me get into the real examples because I'm kind of talking right now. Let me show you exactly how split screen is beneficial and even to you in your daily life when you might not even realize it. So the first example is, let's say I'm banking. I'm just going to use other apps as an example. I'm not going to show you my banking app. But let's say I go on my banking app and I need to calculate something. So I see, oh, on my statement, there's this payment, there's that payment, there's this payment, whatever. And now I need to calculate that. In order to calculate on an iPhone, you got to leave the app, find your calculator, and then calculate. So now I got to try and remember what I saw. So let's say 500 plus 200 plus 100. And oh, what was the last one? I don't remember. So now I got to go back to the last app. And then, okay, the last one was 400. Now I got to go back. Boom. And calculating that. And that's just like a basic calculation. Let's say you need to go between two banking apps because I don't know about you guys, but I use more than one banking app. I have different accounts and stuff like that, etc. So now I gotta go find the other app. So let's just pretend this is another banking app. And then I go to my statements in this app, and now I can look at this stuff. Then I gotta go back to the calculator and then, calculate it. What if I also need to write things down? Now I gotta go find the notes app. So now I gotta go back to my home screen, find the notes app. Boom, now I have the notes app open. I can type that stuff up. So now typing from banking app one, whatever. And then I essentially have to keep going back and forth between four different apps. So I don't know about you guys, but this is a regular occurrence. Like if I'm doing financing and stuff like that, budgeting, and I use my phone because my phone is very capable and powerful, then I will use four different apps at one time. Yeah, so that's it. Like obviously, not everybody does finances on their phone and stuff like that. That's fine. Use your computer, use your laptop, use your tablet if you want to. But having the option of doing this on the fly, like let's say you're out and somebody contacts you and you need to go check your finances, you need to like calculate something, you need to write down notes while you're calculating, while you're checking something. Having the option to do that on a phone is amazing. That is why Samsung is killing it in software, in my opinion, because of the fact that you have so many multitasking features and options. You basically have a little computer in your pocket. And I know technically every phone is a computer. The iPhones, they have a processor, this and that, whatever. But the software is very limited in terms of actually using that computational power. Okay, so the scenario number 2 now. So this is actually like a scenario that caused me to film this video like that. I was just having this problem like literally 10 minutes ago. So basically I have a YouTube channel, right? Obviously. And what I wanted to do was, post a comment on my videos and pin that comment and have the comment be very informational. I wanted to go to an older video. So basically I want to copy this comment that I posted on this video and then use it as a template for the other videos. So I go to this video and then now I have to copy it, right? So I'm gonna try to select everything. Now I'm gonna discard. I'm gonna go to my other video that I wanna post the comment on. But there's also another thing. So I wanna add to that comment and I wanna edit it. So now, because there's no split screen, there's no flowing windows, I gotta leave the YouTube app, go to my notes app, and then paste the comment. So I'm gonna paste the comment here. So now I'm editing it. And now I have to go back to YouTube and I go to my channel, find the playlist because I want to add a playlist to that comment. So I'm going to find this playlist, press share, then copy the link. Now I got to go back to my notes app and add that. And now that I'm finished editing the comment, I have to go back to the YouTube app. Then I have to navigate back to all the videos and post them one by one. The reason why I'm saying that split screen and floating windows is necessary in this scenario is because if I could just split the screen, open up the notes app, then I could just do that at the same time without having to go back and forth between the apps. It's very inconvenient. And also the fact that iPhones don't have a clipboard built in, so I can't copy more than one thing at a time on a clipboard and then paste them. On Android, I can literally copy, text from one website, text from another website, text from somewhere else. I can copy like 10 different things on Android, 10 different texts, and even pictures, and then go and paste them all at one time. I can just recall them because it's all copied, it's all saved to the clipboard. So the fact that there's no clipboard is also annoying. But the lack of multitasking and split screen just makes everything on the iPhone so inconvenient if you are dealing with more than one app at a time on your phone screen. Another scenario for why split screen and floating windows just make sense on a phone is, let's say you're trying to log into a banking app and you need a two-factor identification code. So you log into the app and then they send you the code. A lot of times on iPhone, I've had this experience not like literally yesterday. I'm logging into a banking app and then the code comes and like pressing to copy doesn't always work. And it also like sometimes, it automatically fills it in. Sometimes it doesn't. Either way, there are times, especially when it's like an email, it's not always a text message that you can copy, but let's say it's an email that you're copying the code from. You got to go to the email and then copy the code or like see it and then type it in. But on Android, specifically on Samsung phones, what I can do is I'll get the notification from the email or the text, and then I can touch that notification, drag it into a floating window real quick, and then I can easily put in the code without losing it, without having to leave the app and go on my business, log in. So getting codes for like two-factor identification is really easy to do when you have split screen and when you have floating windows. Multitasking just makes that so much easier. Another example of where it could be beneficial is, let's say I'm playing a game and somebody's talking to me. I don't want to leave the app. And I also I don't know about you guys, but I don't really like how iPhone handles respond to text messages when you're in another app. Like it pops up in the notification and you got to tap and hold to respond and stuff. I don't really like that. But if I'm playing a game and somebody's texting me, but it's an online game, so I can't just leave the app and go respond to that text message. On Samsung phones, I can grab that notification, like I said, pull it into a floating window, respond to the text real quick, and then continue, and then minimize it, and then continue playing the game. Very easy, very smooth. It's just super convenient. And then also, another example of using multitasking in that scenario is like, if I'm talking with someone and I'm playing a game, I can drag the game into a split screen, make the messaging app take up like this much of the screen, and then the other part of the screen, I can comfortably play the game. That's just something that I do pretty often all the time, and it works fine. So these are just some basic examples of how split screen and floating windows can be beneficial on your smartphone. And I genuinely don't understand why a lot of iPhone users say, oh, like, why would you want that on a phone? The screen is too small, stuff like that. I genuinely don't understand that, because even in day-to-day uses, split screen just helps so much. Like, you're texting someone, they're like, yo, what was that one thing? Open up Google Chrome in a split screen, and then you can Google search while you're texting that person to give them the answer they're looking for. Or you can check your notes at the same time while you're texting someone to give them the answer you're looking for. Or you can check your pictures, drag and drop from your picture app to your text app literally at the same time, instead of having to, it's cool that iPhone added this feature where you can go to your photos, then you can hold it and then, leave the app and then go to your texting app and drop that in there, whatever. That's a cool feature. It works, but it takes so much more time than just having a split screen and dropping from the other app, or, seeing what's in there and then blah, blah, like dealing with it. So yeah, essentially split screen, it has a lot of, fun use cases, like playing a game and watching a YouTube video at the same time, playing a game and responding to WhatsApp messages at the same time, playing two games at the same time if that's who you are. I don't personally do that, but it's a use case that some people have. There's fun use cases like that, but then there's also a lot of practical, real world use cases where you're, budgeting finances, you're taking notes of something, you're researching something, etc., etc. There's so many use cases in the day-to-day experience, but also even in the professional experience. Like, as somebody who's working off of their phone, just buy a MacBook, just get an iPad, just use your computer. People say that, but in reality, a lot of us are actually working off of our phone. Like, imagine, your boss is telling you to do something, so you got to go on the website and you got to update the systems, you got to put in a new item or product, whatever. And you also talk to your boss on Slack. I know a lot of people use Slack and work messaging apps and stuff like that. Imagine if you could just have Slack open up in a floating window. So while you're doing what they're telling you to do on your phone, updating the online database, you can be responding to their messages in Slack at the same time, and also following their instructions, checking what they're saying in Slack while updating the database. Like, how is that not helpful? How is that not necessary? Anyways, that is my argument for why iPhones need split screen, need floating windows, and why it would just make so much sense. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Till next video, we are out. Peace.